Hey there, Litwolf here, one of the Executive Council or leaders of For the War, and today I'm just going to go over the basics of installing and configuring Mumble and connecting to For the War's server. Now, if you do any PC gaming at all, I'm sure you know about TeamSpeak 3, Ventrilo, Skype, and Mumble is very similar to those, but it's a little bit less known than its competitors. There's a lot of nice things you can do with it, it's great software, but again, this is just going to go over the basics. So, let's get started. Naturally, before we can actually do anything, we have to install the program first. So I'm going to go to mumble.sourceforge.net, and this will take us to the project page where Mumble is hosted. So you can download the latest stable version for whatever platform you're wanting to run on. In my case, that'd be Windows. And a quick note, Mumble is available for both Apple and Android as an app, so if you so choose, you can run on your mobile device as well. So once you've got it downloaded, you're going to install it, and then we're going to launch it. And I've already got that done, so it's right here. And the first time you launch Mumble, you're going to run into the audio tuning wizard. And this is optional, but it'll walk you through setting up your mic and your headset and all the basics. So we'll run through that real quick. You've got your device selection.
This is an example
device
of
tuning. This is where you set the latency.
Specifically to
volume tuning. And then we've got our voice activation. We do recommend you set a push to talk, and it's not because voice activation doesn't work, it does, but it does have a few kinks to it. It's really sensitive, and it can be a pain to set up, especially if you're new to voice over IP software. So we do recommend a push to talk. Again, you can use voice activation, it's just a bit of a pain to set up. We've got the bandwidth quality and then text to speech. And if you don't know what that is, what it does is it reads all your messages back to you. So if somebody joins a channel, leaves a channel, or sends you a private message, rather than you having to alt-tab out of your program or your game, it will read it back to you. The last setting is positional audio. And what this does is, let's say you're playing a first-person shooter like Battlefield 3, and your squad mate is running behind you and he's also in Mumble. If he says something in Mumble, it'll throw the voice behind you so that it sounds like it's coming from the direction of your squad mate. So we're going to finish, and now we're ready to actually connect to the server. There's a couple ways you can connect to FTW server. First one being, you can go to our website, and you see on the right we've got events, and then we've got Mumble. And you can see that we've got a few people connected at the moment. And if you left click on For the War Clan and Gaming Community, that's the title of the server, it will directly connect you. But if you prefer to input the info yourself, you can do that through Mumble. And we'll just go to server, connect, and then I've already got this added, but what you're going to do is going to go to add new, and that'll open up this window. The label can be anything you want, that's just whatever you choose to name it. The address is going to be this, 69.65.43.91, and then the port is 2187. Username can be anything you choose. Cannot type today. To go over a few of the basics here, if you click on someone's name and type over here on the left, it'll send a message only to that user. If you click on a channel's name and type over here on the left, it'll send that message to the whole channel. And if you actually want to go to a channel, you'll just double click on it, like so. Now let's say that you don't like the chat and the log over here on the left. So we'll go to configure and settings, and I've got the advanced checkbox on the left checked, and that opens up a whole host of options. So if, for example, we didn't like the interface, we could change it to where it's stacked, or we could create our own skin, our own setup. There's also a lot of other options here. One of the big things about Mumble is its overlay. Now Ventrilo and TeamSpeak do have an overlay, but it occasionally doesn't work. Sometimes you have to get a third-party program to get it working. Ventrilo, you have to run the program as an admin, and even then it doesn't always work for everything. But from my experience, the Mumble overlay has worked in pretty much everything, even Photoshop. So really customizable. For example, if we wanted, we could change the columns to 1. We can move this anywhere around. If you use your mouse wheel while hovering over it, you can increase the size. Bunch of options there. If we want, we can also display the FPS. Right, and then we have our plugins. This is the things like positional audio or other mods that you might make. Messages. This is going to be your text-to-speech. So if you don't want to hear it every time somebody connects to a server, or disconnects, you can enable or disable that. Shortcuts, if you want to bind a key to anything, you've got that. And then of course everything else. The last thing I want to go over is registration. When you join our server, you can right click on your name, and right here it says mute self and deafen self for me, but you'll see an option that says register self. And when you click that, it'll register you to our server so that nobody else can take your name. And the way that Mumble manages this is, rather than you having to enter a password to keep your name every time you try to connect to the server, it manages everything in certificates. You can see right here under configure, we've got the certificate wizard. And this will allow you to export a certificate, like say you're going to move computers or format your computer, or import one that we've already exported. So this allows you to not have to worry about entering in specific passwords, or say like these two channels here, members conference and officers quarters, those are limited to certain groups of users. If you're in that group, you don't have to enter in a password, for example, to get into members conference. You just go in because it's tied to your certificate. So really nice feature, and that's Mumble in a nutshell. There's a lot more that you can do with it, but again, this is just a kind of a basics video, and it's already long enough, so won't go over that. If you have any questions at all, you can get on our website, again, fortheworldclan.com. Check out our forums, reply to this video on YouTube, or if you'd like, get in the Mumble, and if we have exec or officer in our tags, you can just send us a quick message or join the semi-available Join for Help channel. Join there and we'll pop in there and do our best to help you. Thanks for watching, and I hope this has helped you, and we look forward to seeing you on our server.